Okay, hello and good morning everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Espresso with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 11th of November, 2022. So yeah, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Friday's morning session where we're going to have a very quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, as always, a quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos. And of course, our jfdbrokers.com website, which you can always check out for more information about us. Now, let's jump into the charts, guys. The first one I want to pick up here is Nikkei 225. Boom! Yesterday, guys, fantastic trading day for the bulls. Of course, as you are aware, the US inflation has ticked down, and there we go. I mean, this is what the market took as a positive, and we had a massive explosion to the upside, of course. And the US indices rallied significantly, but I'll get to those, to the top two performing ones in a bit. But first, of course, you can see Nikkei followed suit, and look, this is what I said to you yesterday. Now, I said that although we fell below this downside line, of course it looked like something's like very very negative. However, we remained above all of the EMAs, and that's why, yes, I said to you, wait for it, because maybe we are within this rising wedge pattern, and as long as we remain within the boundaries of the rising wedge, it may push higher. I didn't expect it to go that much higher. However, I would say my target got reached, so that's great. The 28282 level, the one that I was talking about, we managed to reach that, and there we go. We've managed to hit this area for the end of the week there, and the question now is, can we see a further move north going into next week? Well, at the moment, that's what I'm going to be aiming for if we pop above that 28282 level. The next target for me here will be this one right there, this highest point of September, together with the high of the 26th of August. So these two levels are the 28,660 level and 28,793 level respectively. So let's keep that in mind. Now, in terms of the downside on this one, well, this is where I need to remove this arrow, and probably I'll reuse it, and I'll draw it this way. So if we fall back below this hurdle, this barrier, the one that I talked about previously, the area between the 27,907 and 27,946, if we fall below it, back below it, and we go towards this lower side of the rising wedge, then yes, we could see like a drift back to the downside. Robert, I can see you there in the chat room. Good morning. Are the chances for the euro will break the channel to the upside? Let me get, euro is way there back. Euro USD, if you're referring to that pair, basically, if you're Euro USD, I mean, unless you're referring to something else, but I'll get to that point at the end of the video. You can see here I have it, so yeah, I'll pick that on mind. Let me go through the rest of these first, and then Shanghai Composite, guys. Shanghai Composite, beautiful falling channel got broken. There we go. I talked about this and I said, like, hey, we might see a test of this lower side of the falling channel, and if it holds, or this 21-day EMA holds, we could see something like that. Boom, there we go. 3,100 level got reached. Robert, thank you very much. Yeah, so we reached the target here, my target, which I was aiming for, and great, that's wonderful. What's next? what's next? Well, as you can see here, we got yes, we had an overshoot above this barrier, but we got a hold up, strong hold up here, and we drifted back to the downside. Well, if we climb above this area, above this 3,100 territory, then yes, I will continue aiming for this downside line taken from the high of the 5th of July. ASX 200, amazing, guys. Everything is very, very technical here. Look. I kept on talking about this for 2 weeks now, and I said when we rebounded from this upside line, I said, yeah, it's working great, okay, wonderful. I said that let's go slowly on this one. Initially targeting the 200-day EMA. Yep, great, we reached that. Then I said, like, hey, if we climb above it, then my next target is here, the 6,994. Great, we reached that, we got a hold up here. And then yesterday I said that, hey, if we do fall back below this 200-day EMA, maybe a bit of a correction here could be possible, or in a way, as long as it remains in this area, we could remain just neutral. But if it starts popping above the psychological 7,000 mark, we can go higher, and there we go. We got that move towards that 7,117 territory, marked by the highest point of August. Great, mission accomplished, guys. We can go easy into the weekend right now. So, long story short, now what's next? Again, similar story as with the other ones. Look, at this point, I think that we might get some sort of a retracement or something like that, or maybe, like, even if it does a continuation, it might not be a significant one. It might just go somewhere, maybe somewhere around here at 7,200 or something like that. But I'll say this way: as long as it stays above the above this barrier, the 7,117, I'll remain a little bit more positive. I'll remain a little bit more, bullish. But if it starts falling back below this and stays below it, then yes, this is where I could consider maybe a bit of a retracement here. Now, the German index DAX, amazing, guys. Everything was amazing yesterday in the indices world for the bulls. And look at this. I mean, we look at this, how well this played out. I mean, I talked about this little retracement towards that 200-day EMA. We got that. We got that little retracement. We got a hold up, and there we go. Yesterday in my morning video, I was saying, hey, if we stay above this, then yes, I will go aim for that 13,950 territory, which we managed to reach perfectly. And not even that, we managed to overshoot it as well. So what's next, guys? Well, we are comfortably sitting right now above that 14,000 mark, so that's great. Of course, here, looking at this picture, I think that the next target here, the good next target on the upside could be this 14,709, 10, approximately around there. But I do understand the fact that there, we could see maybe a move somewhere a little bit higher, but not exactly towards that level straight away. We could see a push, let's say, let me just recycle this line. Always recycle, guys. We could get a move towards that 14,329. Now, it's not far from where we are right now on the cash index. We're currently sitting at around 14,243, but good potential, good enough target for maybe this week to end this week. So yeah, if this is the inside swing low of the 1st of June near the 14,329. If we get a nice test of it, great. We could see maybe a correction back down going into next week. So long story short, I will stay this way. Even if we do decline quite significantly, as long as we stay above this 13,950 territory, or even the psychological 14,000, maybe we won't go to this level. Maybe we'll just stick. Maybe the 14,000 mark will be enough. So if we do retrace back down, if we stay somewhere above, let's say, this territory, then yes, I'll continue aiming to the upside. If we start falling back below this increases the chances for a move back to this 200-day EMA, and then we could take it from there. Now, NASDAQ 100, excuse me, okay, guys, I do apologize for for going quiet there a little bit. Something got in my throat. Hopefully it is out, but yeah, I do apologize for that, for going like a little bit quiet in there. But hey, look, NASDAQ 100. Okay, this was amazing yesterday. This was the best performing index from the top three in the US. So it was NASDAQ, then followed by the S&P, which I'll pick up in a bit. and then it's Dow. I mean, I'm talking about the percentages, the best percentage gains. So now then, we've popped above that 11,177 territory. I talked a lot about this, and I talked about that area. This week, I said that, hey, if we climb above this, then yes, I'll go higher. If we fall below this hurdle here, I'll go lower. And look at this. We pushed through this barrier, we went higher. I almost even managed to reach my neckline here, which I'm still referring to because, again, maybe this could be seen as a an ugly head and shoulders, or even better, maybe a nice double bottom pattern with the neckline still being here. So if you're looking for some higher levels, then at this point I will just stick to this neckline, to be honest. So the thing is that, yes, I'm still aiming here for the upside. I'm still aiming for this neckline, but at this point, when, let's say, if I missed this rally here, I would rather just kind of, stick to, I'll just wait and see, to be honest. And it's Friday, and again, it's like, it's Friday, you might get these weird moves and stuff like that, so just not to kind of, destroy the P&L on the account. But anyway, long story short, if you're looking for some higher levels, I'm keeping an eye on this this line here, the so-called neckline. If we push through it and stay above it, I'll go higher. For the downside at this point in time, well, I would say I'd move back below this 21-day EMA, might do the trick, but then I will aim for this territory, this the one that I talked about previously, which could be my this key support zone, and it is at the moment the key support zone. So yeah, if we want to go lower, I will aim for this 21-day EMA first, this 11,177 territory. A drop below it, yeah, may attract more sellers into the game. S&P 500. So similar story. Boom, beautiful move. Great. What else? If you missed this, we've managed to pop above the 3,912 territory here. I talked about it, and we managed to stay above it. Look, my next target is the 200-day EMA, which is near the 4,000 and what is it, 4,025 territory, something like that. Currently the cash index is sitting at around 3,976, so slightly above yesterday's close. So we still have a bit of room. I don't expect a huge move like that, like we had yesterday, of course, but maybe this is where, we could just kind of end up moving towards this 200-day EMA and testing it. I'll aim for the upside as long as we stay above the 100-day EMA and above this 3,112 territory, because again, I don't want to rush into anything, because we had a decent move, maybe a bit of retracement as well could be possible. So long story short, if you're not comfortable to trade this, let's say for example, if you've missed the move, don't chase it. It will present itself with a nice opportunity. For example, you could, if you don't know, for example, that if it's going to go higher straight away or not, then if you have these doubts, what I do is I just kind of, in that case, I'll leave it to the point. I'll leave it to a chance of, let's say, seeing if I do see a retracement and I get a hold up somewhere around here. Then yes, I could consider a move back to the upside maybe later on. But if it starts pushing straight away higher, then I just don't want to chase that. I'm just going to leave it, let it go. Maybe I'll enter a short somewhere near this 200-day EMA. However, again, it could still be a risky one because it's like counter trend trading. So, it's you need to be careful with that as well if you do something like that. We all do it, but the only thing is that it's all about the risk management. I mean, how much you're willing to lose in case it goes against you. That's kind of, that's it. The trend is your friend for sure. You need to kind of overall, you need to look at the trend, where it's going, and if you're, let's say, doing some counter trading, then you just have to accept the fact that, hey, the trend could continue against you, and you might lose some money. And that's why whenever you're trend trading, then honestly, these difficult words for me, somehow I'm struggling with counter trend trading. There we go. if it's let's say if you are doing that, then of course you need to, like I said, accept the fact that there could be, you know, a further move against you. So you always, whenever, it's not recommended. That's why it's not recommended in general to do that. Just always, you know, trade with the trend. But look, you're smart people. You know what to do. So yourselves, guys. I mean, I'm not suggesting anything. Just kind of, you know, let's evaluate the markets together, see what we can squeeze out of them. Anyway. So yeah, that's the situation with the S&P. Let's see if we can, you know, if we can go push towards that 200-day EMA. DXY dollar index, boom, beautiful. There we go, beautiful. Look, I talked about this. I said that if we fall below this lower side of the rising wedge and the upside line, and if below the 100-day EMA, if we fall below all of that, then great, I'll go lower, and there we go. We have moved nicely to the downside. Now the question is, can we see a further move? However, we are near a key support zone, as you can see right yourselves. This and this. So the question for me now, can we see a breakout here? Well, I will continue aiming lower, to be honest, towards that 200-day EMA if we do fall below this whole area, which is roughly between the 107.5868 levels. So roughly around there. So if we fall below that, then yes, I'll go further south towards that 200-day EMA. Gold. Talk about a spectacular move on gold this week. I mean, it started off on Friday, boom. It then continued this week. I said that, hey, look at this. This on Monday we saw a bit of correction here. I said that, hey, we might see a little bit more, maybe the 23.6 at that time, if you remember. Then we blew up here. I said that if we push through the 1684 territory, I'll go higher towards that 100-day EMA. We reached that, great. Then we saw a bit of a correction here on Wednesday. Also corrected, I think, 23.6. Let me just double check. Very quickly. Okay, not really, came very close. However, let me just double check this. If we put it this way, then yeah, there we go. Now we even corrected it almost 38.2. Okay, that's fine. So basically we hang around somewhere here, and then look at this, another explosion, boom. So it's like, I mean, it was like a gift from heaven for all the bulls here this week. And we've managed to reach my other target, the 200-day EMA. Initially I was aiming for the 1750 level, but actually it went on further and reached my other target, 1765 here, and currently is trading near this 200-day EMA. Look, I'm gonna leave it for this week. I'm just gonna observe the price action and what it's gonna do. I mean, to be honest, I think that we could continue moving further north, for sure. There are some other levels here, like the 1800, which could be tested. But for that, I think that maybe it's time to see a little bit of a retracement. Don't get surprised if that retracement happens not today, maybe on Monday or Tuesday. We could see maybe a correction back down, maybe even towards that 100-day EMA right here, shown as the green line. So yeah, let's see. But let me say one thing here is that, look, at the moment, if you've missed the rally, just kind of leave it, honestly. Let it correct, maybe it will correct to the downside, and then if you believe that it will go higher, then just you can enter like at a lower price here, and then, you know, do something about it. So let's assume this has peaked already, and it's not going to go higher. So the 23.6, oh, look at this, perfect. The 23.6 is bang on my level here, the which I've drawn here before, the 1729. Beautiful. Look at this. I mean, talk about coincidence. Yeah, if we can call it that way. But long story short, look, if it does correct here, if it holds below this 200-day EMA, I am, yes, considering maybe a retracement here towards that 1729 and 30 zone, somewhere around here. Maybe, like I said, even this 100-day EMA, but hey, let's not rush into anything. Silver, yeah, great move above this 21.61 level. I talked about this, and I said that if we pop above it, we could go higher. Well, we are going higher right now. The only thing is that silver is not like gold. I mean, it's lacking volatility sometimes because not more people trade gold than silver, but it still presents itself with nice opportunities. And for example, here, I would say it very simple, in a simple way. I mean, as long as we stay above this 21.62 territory, I'll go towards that 22.51 level, marked by the highest point of June. And then I'll take it from there. If it falls back below this, I'll get a bit of a neutral stand here, because again, I'm not saying that I'm going to be bearish or something like that, no, but we do have some support levels here that could, play out, so which could hold, and we could, see this one maybe reversing back to the upside later on. So if you're looking for, let's say, an opportunity to go long, but like at a lower price, then probably the best option is to wait. However, if you still believe it, and if you do have, let's say, a big stop loss, you can allow yourself for a big stop loss, or you can, let's say, jump in, let's say, keep a trade right now and then jump in at a later stage. That could be interesting as well. However, that's called averaging out, and that's why if it goes against you, then well, you're in the double in the loss. So yeah, that's why it's very tricky subject. Sometimes it works, sometimes it works fine when everything is fine. It doesn't work when the market starts to make these one-way traffics and just kind of it goes crazy, goes nuts. So that's why be very careful with that. So I would say at the moment I am still aiming for the upside overall, but the fact that we had kind of a good move already, maybe a bit of a retracement could be possible here. But again, if it doesn't happen, maybe that's something that could happen going into next week. Now, WTI oil. Okay, this one's a roller coaster, and look, I mean, I talked about this, and I said that if we break this upside line, we could go lower. We reached my 85.58 level. We rebounded from it. We pushed back up. This upside line no longer valid. There we go. We have to accept that. And we can accept the fact that we are stuck in somewhat of a range here. So if you're looking for lower levels, I'll probably stick to this level here. I mean, it's not the most exciting instrument right now at this point. It could be, but not at the moment. I mean, it's oscillating right now around that 21-day EMA, and I really don't like that, so I'm just going to leave it and just observe. For the upside, I need to see a push above the 93.62. For the downside, I need to see at least a drop below the 85.58, and then I'll aim for the lower side of this little range where we are currently sitting in, and then we'll go from there. Bitcoin. So yes, beautiful day yesterday for the crypto world, especially the cryptos against the US dollar, and yeah, there we go. We've rebounded here. We've moved below this area, this 16,000. 16,200. Let me just double check what that was. Okay, that's the low of the 26th of November of 2020. We briefly visited in the area below it, and then we reversed back up, and now we're back to this this 17,567. I talked about this level. That's the low of the lowest point of June. We're currently sitting there, and look, I talked about this one before, and yeah, I'm not really. At the moment, I'm not really comfortable unless we start seeing at least a move back above this psychological 20,000 mark, somewhere around here. And then, yeah, I will aim back again for the upside. AUD/USD, just very quickly on the few pairs. So this one popped. Look, I'm not going to spend too much time on all of these. I've already covered them this week, and I'm just going to repeat what I've said this week. Basically, for the upside, I needed to see a breakthrough one of these trend lines. We got that, great. And what I said then, I said my next target is the 100-day EMA. We've reached that. Perfect. Now what's next? To be honest, I'm leaving this one. I did this. It did my move here. Great. Now I'm just gonna maybe consider something like that. Again, if we don't get a hold up here, we continue to rally. Okay, that's great as well. But to be honest, at this point, I'm just gonna wait until I see some sort of a better scenario. And yeah, just wanted to show you that yeah, great. We've reached the idea worked. AUD beautiful. Look at this. I talked about this area here as potential breakout for the upside. Now we got a breakout, but we're struggling to stay above it. We are moving back down. So to be honest, I'm treating this for now as a false breakout. I'm not saying that this is going to go higher. It could. Of course it could, but I need to see a better move above this this area right here. I talked about this, so this 1.1022. In order to go higher, I need to see a push above that area. NZDCHF, beautiful, beautiful. Look, I mean, we reached my 38.2% retracement on the Fibonacci. I talked about this yesterday. We've cleared this 23, so yep, everything's working perfectly. We rebounded, and we're getting a hold of below this 23.6. Look at this, beautiful. Now, again, what I'm considering here is maybe something of a possible bearish flag forming. We have our pole and we have our little flag forming right now, so let's see if that's going to be the case. However, either way, if you're looking for some lower levels, then certainly 0.5758 level, that's the one I need to see a break off in order to go lower. This would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and potentially we could go for that 50 or even 61.8% retracement on the Fibonacci. USD/CHF, beautiful. Look at this. I mean, I don't even know where to start on this one. Look, it fell below this my target here. I talked about this. I even exceeded my target twice, actually. You know, the distance. So I mean, look, I think it's time to do something like that. I think that's the best option. So we've broken this area. I talked about this yesterday, the 0.9842. We cleared it. We moved below it again. We reached the 200-day EMA. I think we could see a further move lower, but I want to see if we're not going to end up getting something like here, basically. Let me just can I drag it? There we go. Something like here. Yeah, so let's see if that's going to be the case, where we go drift a little bit more below the 200-day EMA, and then we reverse and push back up. Because are we overstretched to the downside? Yes, we are. But to be honest, does this mean that it's time for a little reversal? I don't think so. I think it just could continue drifting further south. USD/JPY, boom. 145 level. This is what I talked about. I mean, we fell below the 145 level. We reached my target here. We exceeded my target. Brilliant. I mean, mission accomplished. Team, we can go into the weekend. Look, at the moment, I said before that if we do fall below this 141.50 level and this 100-day EMA, I'll go lower. And to be honest, I'll stick to that game plan. As long as we stay below this, I'm aiming lower. If we start climbing back up and stay above this 141.50, I will take a neutral stand. Because for the upside, I need to see a break of this downside line. There we go. Very simple, guys, on this one. But yeah, if we do get a push above this downside line, then yes, I'll go a little bit higher. USD CAD. USD CAD. So, okay, great as well. Look, I talked about these levels, these beautiful, nice levels of 30, 37, 38, 36, 30, 35, 34, 33. And I mean, this all worked out as a charm. So we fell below the 1.34. We reached the 1.33. Great. Is the 1.32 next? I would like it to be that case. However, let's see here if that's going to be a good target. Okay, roughly 1.3224 actually could be a nice good target. Even if we draw something like this, yes, 1.3208. Right. Look, in general, I would say yes. If we continue to trade below the 1.33 territory, I'm aiming for the 1.32 zone. That's pretty much straightforward, simple. So let's see if we can reach that. GBP/JPY, look, we're still flirting with that neckline. I talked about this. And if you remember, if you watched me in the beginning of this week, I told you when we were still here, I said that, hey, let me just put this idea out there. Maybe this is going to be a head and shoulders pattern. Well, it seems like that one. Again, not trying to brag here or anything, but just the thing is that we always need to consider these, even the craziest idea, always consider it. Because look, you don't forget where we live in a crazy world. So hey, you know, any crazy idea can be actually, you know, can be a good idea. So, long story short, at the moment, I will say that if we do fall below the neckline here, this 165 territory, I'll go lower. Initially, I'll target the 100-day EMA, but then the 200-day EMA. Simple as that. For the upside, I need to see a push somewhere above this hurdle, this 169.08 level, and then, yeah, more buyers could join in. GBP NZD. So I'm still sticking to this idea of a some sort of a rising wedge here, which according to all the TA rules tends to break to the downside. Well, could be the case, but it could be the opposite way as well. Of course. We need a confirmation break through this lower side of the rising wedge. That's the criteria. If we do get that, then yes, this is where we can get a little bit more comfortable with this idea. However, as long as it respects, let's say, the boundaries here, yes, it can get these little false breakouts. That's part of the deal. But overall, if it still moves within, you know, within the boundaries here, then it moves higher. So you have to accept that. So don't rush. Everything, you know, it will come. If we do pop above the upper side of it, above this rising wedge, then, well, consider maybe a move to the 21-day EMA or maybe even this downside line. EURUSD. This one's near the neckline. I talked about this. Look, we are flirting with the 0.9834 territory. If we fall below it and stay below it, then yes, I will go further south. So pretty straightforward on this one. For the upside, I need to see a push above the 0.9957. And finally, EURUSD. So looking at this one, okay, we broke the upper side of the rising channel. In a way, I am leaning towards the upside. I'm still leaning towards the upside, and this is where the point where, let's say if it breaks this, then you just get rid of it. I mean, look, when something stops working, just get rid of it. There is for sure another some sort of a pattern which you haven't seen yet or haven't realized that it's that, but just, yeah, spend some time. And basically right now, look, I will say this way, given that I don't like to chase the market, let's say if I missed the move here to the upside, or let's say if I already I took my profit somewhere around here, and this was probably what I would do if, let's say, yesterday if I said that if we pop above the 1.0094 level right here, my next target is this one right here, the 1.0198, or let's say 1.02 level, where this is the point for sure where I would probably take my profit. Okay, went higher a little bit, that's fine, that's part of the deal. Always leave something for the next guy, that's for sure. That's like the key rule in everything, in stock trading and you know, in anything. Always leave something for the next guy, because you cannot sell something if there is no demand for it. So it's like, you know, just enjoy a lower profit, and then, yeah, leave something, allow somebody else to make some money on it as well. So that's the game plan, you know, be fair. Anyway, so in terms of this, as long as we stay above the 1.02 territory, I'm continuing to aim for this 1.0340. That's a good target, but again, I don't know if we're going to reach that today or not, but I'm just going to be on the careful side for now. We could still get a little push here. I'm not saying anything. Maybe actually towards this inside swing low near of the 11th of August, and that's near the 1.0275. Could be a nice target actually. We might reach this, and if it holds, a bit of a correction here could be possible. So in other words, something like this I'm considering. So yeah, basically that's the kind of game plan. If we fall below the 1.02 territory, there could be a chance to see maybe a move towards the 100-day EMA. Again, I don't know if it's going to be for today. Maybe it would require Monday or Tuesday for that. But let's say if we fall and stay below the 1.02 territory here, or the 1.0198, if we stay below it, then yeah, maybe we could go into next week. We could see a bit of a retracement. Another thing to consider, because again, let's say again, this is me probably sometimes getting ahead of myself, but maybe if we do correct back down here, maybe this could be seen as this candle here, this yesterday's candle could be seen as a pole, and if it is seen as a pole, then a pole of what? Of a flag, of a bullish flag, potential bullish flag. So that means you might allow a few days for this to kind of shape up here a little bit, and then maybe we could see a continuation move towards that 200-day EMA. So do not exclude this scenario. Always consider it. But again, let's. I'm not saying that this will happen exactly, but maybe something else. But again, with like similar as with the head and shoulders pattern, you always consider these little ideas here. And yeah, let's at the moment, like I said, let's see if we can do something like that. At the moment, I am aiming for this 1.0275 initially. If we stay above the 1.02. If we don't, then I'm considering maybe an idea of a bullish flag forming, something like that later on. But if it continues to slide here towards that 108 EMA, this is where I'll get a little bit worried. I'll have to rethink everything. I mean, we do have the upside line here, which I don't want to draw yet. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. But again, if you've missed, let's say, yesterday's move, again, I would say don't chase the market. Just leave it. Try to maybe find something else, maybe not something significant as yesterday's move. I mean, it's never perfect, so you can never capture it perfectly. So yeah, it's always kind of a little bit of a gamble. So don't overtrade today. Don't try to get something which, let's say, you've missed yesterday, and everything will be fine then, guys. Anyway. Enough talking here, guys. I hope you found it useful. Just a quick note as well that there won't be any videos on Monday and Tuesday. I will resume on Wednesday if nothing changes, guys. But I think okay, I think will be a problem with next week. So for now, I would say for sure the Monday and Tuesday nothing will happen. No videos there. But Wednesday, I'm not sure. There might be a video. However, if you don't see me on Wednesday or Thursday again as well, because there is something up lining up here. So yeah, sorry about that. So again, let's try to catch up on Wednesday. But like I said, don't be surprised if it doesn't happen, because again, there is something that we're working on. So yeah. But anyway, guys, I hope you'll have a fantastic weekend. That's for sure. And I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Just don't overtrade. Very simple. Don't overtrade and everything will be fine. See ya. Bye-bye.